preliminary discussion on the, your property at 68 Dean Street. There is a current enforcement order in place, and we just want to talk about what you guys are doing, what you've done, and what we can do going forward. So, you want to do this, Jim? Just explain what's happened so far?
What's that?
No, I think they're ready to do that.
We're just trying to get more of a basis of what conservation land is, and
Sure.
whether the can and cannots around it. We're new homeowners, we've only been at 68 Dean Street since August 1st of last year.
Okay.
So we're looking, like I said, we've all new to us, so we're just kind of getting more of a background of what's expected of us, pretty much. So that's kind of left up to you guys.
Now, I actually worked in
Really?
Austin, Texas.
It's all you.
Well, I guess no one told you when you moved in that you guys boarded wetlands, right?
No.
So the previous owner didn't know that either?
No realtors, nothing ever brought up.
No,
This
never came up,
live on
right?
conservation land.
Okay, yeah.
It's
So,
actually, we didn't realize it was wet back there until the end of the winter, going into the springtime, that's when the water
Right.
started. We saw it was
Right.
swampy, you know, it
Sure.
wasn't anything crazy.
yeah. Well,
Really?
the wetlands regulations say that you have a wetlands boundary, which is defined by the plant life and the water and soils and different characteristics that define a wetland. And then there's a buffer zone of 100 feet from that barrier of the wetlands, and that's where the jurisdictional portion starts. If you want to do work, depending on the work in the wetlands, in that buffer zone, I mean, you have to come to us for a permit.
Yeah.
Okay, now what if you're outside that buffer zone?
Outside the 100 feet,
Yeah.
then you're okay. But as far as, are they in the wetland or are they just in the buffer?
Well, it looks like it goes up to the front of the house and it just excludes the septic in front. So it definitely encompasses almost the entire front.
Yeah, I think
Right.
right now we're, just waiting to see what Mike sent to me yesterday.
According to the plot plan, the sanitary plan.
Now, what plan is that? Just because we don't have anything like that. in-
That's what I was gonna ask you, if you,
Right.
when you took possession of the house,
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was just.
Documents.
Getting enough.
yeah.
did you get a plot plan or anything?
I got this one plot plan right here, and it was
Yeah.
dated
It's all
from
good. We like to say that around here. It's all good.
1989. They did a surveillance. I guess it was over some
Gotta tell ourselves that.
border
That's why I have signed
discrepancies
with
with
my
previous
computer
owners.
screen that says. I think
This is what I received.
Well, okay.
And I happen to know, which is my property, used to be obviously owned by David and Gail
Yep.
Freeman. And then this is where finally we noticed what that was after hearing from Jennifer.
So, what have you done?
Okay, so when we first moved in, we got a home inspection obviously done. And one of the main things, I actually brought the home inspection with me, was to cut the trees down away from the house. Because they were overtaking the roof's growing all sorts of moss and it's doing damage to the house. Me and her, actually, the last place we were living at, a tree actually fell in the house. So we've already come across this before.
Sure.
I was like, we put a hole in the roof, we drained it out, we had water damage, whole 9 yards. So my first thing was we gotta cut the trees down. I did so. That's when we got the cease and desist letter from Jennifer. As soon as we got that letter, I stopped all operations. I didn't cut anything else down or anything else like that. But that's where we started at. And I was like, oh, I guess we live on conservation lands. Had no idea, and I had spoken to Jennifer about it. We had no idea you had to pull a permit to cut trees down. I just figured they're trees, you cut them down. That's where we were left at with that.
Did you take the stumps?
No.
So you-
Stump's still there.
Okay. And do you have more trees you want to cut down?
No.
You're done?
Yes, completely done.
Okay. I read something about Phil
Yes.
brought in. Let's start with that.
Yes, that's on the side of my driveway. I brought that in because it's out of the 100-foot buffer zone that was discussed.
Okay.
I did a little bit of research on conservation land after I got the cease and desist letter. And from this plot plan I went off of, which is scaled with 1 inch equals 50 feet, I'm outside of that 100-foot buffer zone. So I didn't think I had to pull a permit. Obviously Jennifer, when she drove by and seen it, thinking that it was in the wetlands.
Right.
But it's only along the driveway going back. And the only reason I put it there is because you can see right here, well, that's actually before when I cut the brush.
That's the
down.
brush, right.
I took a picture of one of my.
So is the material still here?
Yeah, it's still just like that, we haven't even done anything
Right,
with
so
it.
that's in the buffer. That's in the buffer too. I'm looking at the plot plan right now.
Okay, that's what I was saying, what's this plot plan here?
This is the plan that shows the septic system. So this jog in the driveway is this jog in the driveway right here. So that looks like it's right here.
This is the buffer, where's my driveway?
But your driveway's right here. So this is the little notch in the driveway.
Oh,
That's
okay,
right here.
okay.
So that kind of right here. So the buffer goes behind your shed,
Yeah.
and then it comes to the front of your house, almost off your front steps.
See, according to this, I didn't realize that, I figured it was out of the 100-foot buffer zone.
That's the limit to the wetland, I believe. So you're gonna go 100 feet off of this line.
Yes, which is,
That's probably not the
That's,
actual.
yeah,
this
it's
is a
true.
flag.
Yeah, they have to get the fine.
okay, well, see, I also
Yeah.
did not know this
Yeah.
again, we've only
Yeah.
been here for a year, we didn't realize. But the only reason I put that fill down is because the water is running off my driveway, and I can actually show you a picture of my driveway is beginning to crack in the corner. And I didn't want to lose the driveway. So I had some fill dumped there. It's not, from where it's dumped, we haven't spread it or anything yet, but from where it's dumped, it's not moving from that area. It's just sitting right there to make sure my driveway doesn't erode away.
Well, your driveway's eroding away for different reasons. So is the water ponding in the corner of your driveway?
It's running down and it's causing the dirt behind it in that corner right there. You can actually see lines of water running down and it's causing the soil to erode
When
away.
you say running down, you mean from Dean Street?
Yes, it comes off of Dean Street down my driveway and is washing out some of the soil there. And it's causing my driveway to sink. And it's not, hasn't fully cracked yet, but I wanted to dump that fill before that actually happened.
Yeah, the best thing you can do in a situation like that is actually go the opposite way and dig a trench, over excavate until it was stone.
So.
The water can run away, so it doesn't
From-
wash away with the supporting soil and material beneath the driveway. You can kind of divert the water away from your driveway.
Okay.
That's interesting. So there's no curb on Dean, that tells me there's no curb on Dean
No.
Street.
No.
So yeah, that, what will happen is this will just wash away. The stone's more permanent, a more permanent
More
solution,
of
if you will.
a drain, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah, my perspective was it was just to build, the only reason I had that brought in was to build that driveway up around there too, so I don't lose my driveway. It's not going anywhere else besides right there.
Your best solution, in my opinion, would be to put a berm in front of the driveway, but that's, just your side.
And whatever soil you put to reinforce what's been taken away is just gonna be more, it's gonna wash away in, another year or 2 years, whatever, because it's the same process that caused this problem is gonna continue unless you can redirect the water, or block the water, or, some way to manage the water, or like Lisa said, use stone, which will drain the water.
But
and it'll
where
hold
where
its-
would I run that drain? How would that work?
Well, you don't run it, you basically just, wherever you see the washouts, if you took this material away and follow the path of the washout, that's where you'd that's where the water wants to go. So you'd over excavate that path, and you'd put the stone in that path, and pretty good sized stone, so it doesn't become this large.
Well, I was gonna say, some of that stone, that's all clean fill, by the way, too. That has nothing, it's not bad fill. It has big stone in it and whatnot, and I figured compacting it and building up that corner a little bit would do the same.
Now, the water will just accumulate here and then eventually breach through that
Well,
material.
but it's still, no, because it's still gonna run down that
Well, I'm
hill.
not gonna engineer this for you, you're gonna have to get somebody to figure that out, I'm just giving you a suggestion on how to
Okay.
do that, but this is not the solution, because number one, it's unconsolidated material, so every time it rains, this material has the potential to run off towards the wetland. So like any construction site, whatever, once this house is built, everything has to be stable and covered with either grass or asphalt surface to make sure that when it rains, none of this material runs off. So right now you have an exposed surface here, so it's not good for the wetland. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to come up with a solution.
For example, what happens with all the car oil and antifreeze that runs off of the street down my driveway and back there?
Yeah, that's an issue.
That's all still running back there, draining into that wetland.
Is there any curbing at all?
I don't think so.
Street?
Not that I know of.
What's that?
Not that I know of, on Dean Street.
Yeah, that's a DPW issue, but
Like I said, the only reason I did this was just so I don't lose my driveway. I just didn't want it to crack. I mean, me and her put a lot of money into this household, as you guys know, houses are not cheap. And we were just trying to save our investment, that's all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't trying to, you know, cause any difficulties or harm. We're just, you know, and I figured it, like I said, by going like this, we have something different than I do. I figured it was out of the 100-foot buffer zone. If it was something I had to pull a permit for, and we figure out that it is inside that buffer zone, I have no problem pulling a permit for that as well.
so I think what the suggestion is going to be is, we're gonna need an as-built of what was cleared, so we have a record
Okay.
for them. And then come up with a solution for this.
And like I said, we have no problem with compliance there. We just don't know anything about it.
Right, so what you're gonna have to do is,
I'm sorry,
either hire a surveyor and or an engineer to come out and, so, we know there's a tree, you didn't put loam and seed down or anything, you just took the trees
No,
down.
this is
None of this stuff, it's just to get away from the
So we're gonna have to know what was cleared, because we usually have people, replicate
Can
the
I just see,
trees, the ones that were taken.
Okay.
Certainly you don't wanna just replant a tree that's gonna grow up.
Against the house again, exactly.
So we'll have to think about what type of planting to, but I think we need this plan updated to show us what was cleared, the limit of clearing.
Okay, which again, I have
Oh,
no
this is
issue.
the last thing we have on record, this is from
You can have that.
2007. That's at the Board of Health, your septic plan?
Okay, thank you.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
What else
Oh,
was I
you know
gonna
what?
say? Okay, so for the compliance
This is when I
check,
was fighting withdrawal.
again, I have no issue with going through with one.
This is when.
I just wanna know what it entails of, obviously you guys come out and look at the property and whatnot. Now remember, I've only been here for a year. So if you guys come out and find other stuff that we have not been responsible for, how does that work?
Well, we can tell what happened on the site just from aerial photos.
Okay.
So we can tell the condition that you got it in.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when behind my shed, for example, I've already taken out of there. There was tires left behind, junk. The front gutter had fallen off the house, I don't know, probably years ago. The previous homeowners had just stuffed it in the woods back there.
Let's.
There's all sorts of toys and other stuff that we have picked up. Now, I don't have a problem with you guys coming to come look at the property, but I don't want it to be that I'm getting fined or whatnot for stuff that we were not responsible
Does
for.
master plan have to be here? Is this a link somewhere?
Well, I think the first order of business is to get a survey,
Okay.
I had to link it to,
Is the village
so you
center
can
as
just
well?
update that small plot plan
Okay.
and, figure out where the cleared area is, the extent of it.
Okay, who does the surveying?
Jennifer, do you have a list?
We have a list of people who do that.
And who's paying for that? How much is that?
You would need to get 3 estimates from the surveyors to find that out. Yeah.
So basically, we just need to document what's been done out there. That's what we're looking for, then we're gonna look at restoration,
while back
we
you
need to be
shared
doing
that,
plantings,
some material.
and then what to do about this material in the buffer.
Staff.
That's what we're getting to.
Well, I understand that, but now,
Is-
depending on how much this surveying costs, now it's coming out of our pockets. We're not the wealthiest people going. I don't know how much a survey even costs. I'm not sure if you guys do or not. What if we can't afford that?
So-
Where are we going from there?
I know you're
Did you
talking
have
about
one
that
done when the house
When it
was
tells you
bought?
you run out
No.
of space, I couldn't wipe out my whole phone.
Well, I can tell
All we
you
had
that
was the home
Space
inspection.
of the memory. No matter how
People
they
that
say
have violations
nothing's
in
ever
this
gone,
town,
this is the problem. I could
they're
delete
everybody's
this,
held to the
still
same
have my
standard,
space.
everybody's
Nothing's
accountable,
ever gone.
everybody
See if it's.
that's
see
come
if I can
before
get it
us,
online.
has done an as-built.
I did delete a bunch of stuff and it still
Because
told
they
me.
didn't know.
Oh, getting a survey? Well, like I said, if it's a $50 survey, yeah, no problem, but if we're talking like a $5,000 survey, I don't know what it costs.
You're gonna have to get an estimate on that, so it's, an enforcement action and we're trying to work with you. We're
Yeah.
just trying to tell you the steps that you need to do to rectify
Absolutely.
the situation. So the first thing is a survey, then we will look at the number of trees and the type of trees that were taken down and what a reasonable, a replanting effort would look like. And then I think you just need to solve this problem over here with this pile, maybe come up with a better solution.
Mine
Keep
did.
this material here.
Okay. But as you said, the drain before as I explained, you're still having
They let you
runoff that's
copy
still
it?
running
Yeah.
into the wetlands.
Right, this is
Wouldn't
not a
it might
long-term
be-
solution.
It might
And
have
it
something to do
leaves
with your
an
computer.
unconsolidated pile in the buffer zone.
It might be,
Really
So
can't
when
see
you
it.
would
well, it
like
might have
this-
something
The
to do.
plan, I just haven't touched the
So
piles,
when
my
you
plan
do
was
Dropbox,
to
like, you don't get a little.
flatten it out
I got one that said.
and build up that corner, so it's not a drop off right after my driveway.
But building up that corner is not gonna, so it's source reduction. Building up the corner is not going to alleviate the water getting there, correct? It's not gonna alleviate the
No,
water.
'cause there's nothing
getting-
blocking the
right.
water,
So
exactly.
eventually what will happen is that stream, or that water flow, will find its way through that material.
Even
And
with the
create
stone and
even
stuff
more
in there.
mess. No, not with the stone. If you took this material out and just put the stone in,
Well, that's what I'm saying, there's stone in that.
but it's all mixed in. All this material.
Yeah, all the fines are gonna wash away and you'll be left with the big stones.
Yeah.
And even the pile itself that's there now, that's not spread, is still, shouldn't be in the buffer zone right now where you're keeping it, so
Because
that's
what's gonna
another
happen is
issue.
you're gonna continuously keep washing out
Every
further
time it
and
rains.
further into the lawn. And you're gonna look back with nothing.
Okay.
It's just not solid enough to handle that flow. Because I'd love to see the evidence of, not evidence, but what it looked like beforehand
Forward this to me.
in that area.
It's just a grassy hill area, that's all. It just drops down, what it is, I can show you pictures if you like, I took pictures of the water.
So stone's really the
Yeah, just
best
send it
thing
to
in
me.
that situation,
So then,
so it can handle those flows.
are you, so then how, I can just send files to the participants? You send a link like this? I can send the files, but if you wanna link it, then
You
you'll
can see this is where it's
to
cracking,
link it.
we're giving way in this corner here, that's the
Well,
corner.
we need to figure this out, 'cause this
Right,
sucks
yeah.
that I can't do anything with it.
Totally with you.
Yeah, typically,
So,
we see
I'm
a
I'm
lot
trying to
of,
see, this is like a stream of where it's eroding.
so that's where you're
Tomorrow.
gonna over excavate, you wanna dig that
Well,
out
we're
and
gonna
get it with
fix
stone.
tomorrow.
We do that all the
We're gonna
time,
have to.
if somebody
Because
claims
if you can
a
copy it,
driveway
then
that's
you're right,
only
it might just be
1
somewhere
the
with
water
my computer,
system
so
is
it's
still
today.
dry.
Either way, we need more
But
drop
this is
offs.
probably from the stones too, because they always said, you're running out of space, you may not even be close to it, this is just how they manipulate it. But you're
You're
on
on to see this water right here. Trying to
It's ridiculous. We need
Yes, it's a discernible path, and that's where it wants to go, so you wanna chase it down there. It's telling you where it wants to go,
Yeah.
so you just wanna line that.
So
And then what
now,
will happen is
Certainly
it will
don't
infiltrate into the ground like this, that's what you want. So that's what that stone will do.
Forward
We
it.
could probably get rid of the all meeting materials before 2013,
It'll
19, for all.
infiltrate back into the ground surface.
okay, so now in order to do that, all I'd have to do is
No, I'm
pull
just
a
saying,
permit
we
with you
could
guys.
get rid of that, we were worried about.
Yeah, so once you have the
All I
survey done
have
of
to do is,
existing
once
conditions, then we can talk about how to fix it.
I can
Okay,
just
so I just need to get a site survey.
accordion those.
If everybody's in
You're
agreement
agreeing
with
with
that.
too.
I would agree.
And they only.
Oh, I'm in agreement, you
You're right.
Well, I'm
too.
talking about
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I'm in agreement until I see what the price is costing me. You know, I don't have a problem with doing that. I'm just, where we're at in our financial situation
No,
is
all
where
right.
it's gonna
Yeah, I'm sending it right now.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
making
take
its way to
one
the
step at a
whiteboard.
time. You may not be able to replant, well, you won't be able to replant until spring. So,
No, it's just gonna die.
yeah.
So all this brush is gone now,
Yes, everything is gone,
Okay.
it's all cleaned up.
and this, the pile of soil is still there? How big is the
What's that?
pile? You said there's a pile.
No, that's all gone.
That's not in
All the
there.
wood, everything is, that was cut is gone.
What about the fill that you brought in?
The fill is still there. The fill, the only reason we left it in piles like that is because I got another notice from Jennifer to stop.
How much fill do you think that you have to get the
was-
ballpark at?
It was probably 4 dump trucks, probably, I don't know.
100 tons?
No, maybe like 20 yards, maybe less,
Oh,
15 yards.
geez, okay, that's not bad. All right.
15 yards of loom,
Okay.
fill. Like I said, it starts from, this is Dean Street, that obviously
Yep.
whoever took this picture is standing on.
Yep.
There's piles right here along the edge of the driveway, because it drops down right there where this brush is. And then right at this corner, it sinks down, and that's where all, this is where all the
it's being
water is
undercut.
pouring.
It's right there,
I
right?
can show you the picture of the driveway
Right,
too.
sure.
So how many trees were taken down?
Like probably 10 or so, but a couple of them were out front too, not in the back. Out in the back, I
We
think
should be
it
able to
was
see
4.
the stumps then, right? Or-
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I didn't pull up any stumps. See, this is you can see that's the dirt on the side of the driveway, but see how it's starting to crack
Yeah.
here? Because this is
Get washed
eroding,
out,
right? Yeah,
right.
exactly. And then, I'll show you, I have, you can kind of see this is the stream of water where it's eroding away in that corner.
Okay,
So my fear was, this is gonna erode away and now my driveway's gonna crack.
right.
So that's why I had brought the
Sure.
the fill. Do you guys have recommendations or cards of surveyors that?
Jennifer has a list of folks that do business in town.
Yep,
Is Van still working?
sorry?
I don't know.
He's the guy that did the
Yeah,
initial
Jack.
plot plan. He's,
Jeff around?
Jeff died a couple of years.
oh, did he? I guess not. I guess you had a hard time getting the survey done for him.
Say that's the most cost-effective thing is to use the surveyor that did the plot plan for you. Who did that one?
Yarworth Engineering and Land Surveying,
He's out of business too.
Attleboro.
Yeah.
Which again, like I said, the reason I didn't even think about pulling a permit was because according to this, I thought I was out of the 100-foot coverage as well.
So what's interesting, because I don't know if anybody bought Vance's files.
I got this.
Yeah.
Sometimes a surveyor will buy out another surveyor's files.
Oh, really?
And I'm taking everything.
Yeah, if they have baseline points that they can shoot from, and if they know about what the last one was done, they can do it faster.
This, you
Yeah.
can just grab all material.
They get like 2 or 3. You have to get 3 numbers, or it's just.
We always recommend get
Yeah.
at least
Then
3.
you get an idea.
June,
I just did this.
I can't imagine it's going to be much.
Make the distinction, you don't need the property line information, you just need an as-built of.
Yeah, so
like I said, they'll probably.
So it's an existing conditions
It's an
plan.
existing conditions plan in the buffer zone, right?
Because like they say, nothing's ever
Driveway,
gone.
because that's already located on Jack's plan,
So I think it's still here for me.
so.
No,
By
it's still
property lines,
yeah,
I think
it's
it's
still.
I think, because like.
Yes, well,
So you have
I,
conditions.
honestly, we were looking into doing that.
I'll always
and
tell you that
big
your storage is full. Your
property
storage is
lines.
full. I didn't
So
clear out
I
my
just
phone,
said, I'm gonna go
got
with
a
this.
new phone, right?
Well,
We use the same thing.
If you are looking to do that, it's more cost effective, get all those ones if you want to do this.
Now, so after the survey is taken,
So it, you know, nothing.
Meet back here.
Compare that, so, yeah, right, then you'll get it to
Even if
Jennifer,
police tells
and
it
she'll
might
take a
still
peek
tell
at
you
it,
no,
and then
it's
we'll
fixed.
discuss it,
Because you're not
about
going
what
to
to
do,
do.
because there's something else that's not,
Mitigation.
or there's a bug in it that says.
Do you still anticipate over the next several weeks being not free on Mondays?
A lot of files.
Because at some point we'll have to have another
I
meeting.
just figured,
yeah,
you know, we could use
December
it if we
and
need
January,
to.
I get a little bit of a break.
Shared.
But if I
Just
can,
drop off, you deleted.
what happens is my classes are mandatory.
Sure.
And if we miss them, my company gets fined for it, so I have to make multiple phone calls and switch things around, and you still get fined for it. But in January, they're talking about switching it to Tuesdays and Thursdays and having it in Taunton, and if that's the case, I can make Mondays.
Still loaded.
But as of right now, I'm still in class Monday and
Sure.
Wednesday. But January and December, it's kinda like a college class,
Yeah.
which we have a winter break. So if it falls in that
Drop off, so you deleted.
time frame, I do have a couple Mondays off coming up.
So if you do the survey in the fall, then the winter break, we get the meeting done, plan, and you won't be doing much in the winter anyways, probably.
No,
And then
no.
before spring starts, we
Wow,
wanna
60 files, look at that.
have a plan in place.
Now, as far as cleaning up my yard goes, obviously we leaves and whatnot, you just can't dump them back there as I understand it, correct?
Because then that would be, technically be altering, right?
Okay.
You can't fill wetland or alter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the only other thing that my thing is after the surveys all come down, previous homeowners, obviously they know it's wetlands back there. They dump grass clippings and stuff. My biggest thing with the compliance check, which I was trying to explain to Jennifer too, is am I going to be held responsible for previous homeowners' doings? I also have a neighbor out back that borders my land, he's back in the woods. You can actually see his house when you go out my backyard during the winter time when the leaves fall down. I don't know what he's doing back there. What happens with all of that? Like I said, I've never been back there.
Right, well, right now, we're just interested in.
Just the trees?
what's happening.
Just the corner of the driveway and the
Okay.
wetland behind it. yeah.
Okay, that's all that's for.
Yeah, we're not gonna just go right through your whole yard.
That's, see,
Find violations and
this
start
is-
fining you.
This is one of my gripes that I had, because I have no idea, I don't know what it entails, so,
Yeah, we're just
you
gonna
know.
focus on the area that we know about the impacts that have
Okay.
already been made and how to fix them and how to not
Perfect.
impair the wetland anymore.
Perfect, which I completely agree with, I'm fine with that.
So just keep an eye on this pile to see if it's not eroding.
No, it doesn't seem to be, in that back corner, there doesn't seem to be any dirt or anything like that piling up on my lawn, because I've been mowing my grass and whatnot.
Any other questions? So we'll wait for you to get the survey done. You'll submit it to Jen. then we can set up another meeting.
Okay.
And just don't do anything else in the meantime.
Awesome. I can
Alright.
still mow the grass and
Yeah,
everything like
yeah,
that, right? Okay.
Yeah, just don't dump it back.
Yeah, obviously back
Yep,
in the way.
exactly.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming out, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to meet me. I know our schedule is difficult, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thanks, guys.
Do we have any other business?
There's no other business.
Yeah, I wanna
There
talk
are
about
bills to
something.
sign, I think. No?
Jean did it already.
Oh, you have something?
I do.
Oh,
So, obviously, we have people who don't know. And is there a way that we can,
We know if it
we know
works.
which properties,
I see that they're all
which
deleted.
plots are in wetland or border wetland or in the buffer zones? Do we have any way of knowing, like, when houses close and new owners, that we can send an informational packet or something to new
No, I mean,
owners? Say, look, you guys, we're in a wetland, you need to know that, and, because people obviously don't know. And, I mean, I don't know.
Nothing as of now.
I mean, in Massachusetts, you have the responsibility for your own due diligence
Oh, what- Nicole,
to
we don't
go
need to
around
be
to
putting some of these things
all
on
the
here.
departments and
What?
find out
Yeah.
what's on the property. But as far as getting notices of when sales go through,
Yeah, I know.
We don't get
I
that.
copied the whole file in
And even if we
because-
did get that-
And you're right, we don't need the notices.
But there's only two of
Nothing.
us.
I know,
don't
I know.
how
With
far back you want
Unfortunately,
to
we can't
go.
automate
there's
that.
no,
Files, so I literally
It's
drag
unfortunate we
them
can't
right
automate it though,
there.
it's like you get an alert when, look, this closing at this address, you know, and then we have a packet already put together, just send in the mail and say, you know,
Want me to pull up
welcome.
notices?
This is what you need to know.
Okay.
I mean, they may just throw it in the trash, but it's something we can look into. I'm not saying it has to happen tomorrow, but
We
maybe.
don't know about closing until it's, months later, right?
unless there's a wetland issue on it and they need to close a
Well-
they need a
Unless it's
COC.
new, and it's not like they have to come before the Board of Health to get a new
Yeah.
septic
Right.
permit all the time.
Yeah, it's true, like, maybe it's not feasible then.
We don't need the peer review.
I mean, it's a nice idea, it's
I'm
just
sure
that
it
we
happens a
don't,
lot that we don't know about because.
we don't have a resource
Unless somebody
for
calls and.
figuring it out.
Right, yeah, but this probably happens a lot. Leaves in the backyard and just dump them in the woods and not knowing.
It does, we usually
We
just
don't-
do a quick site
we don't-
inspection, that could have been done a year ago and
Yeah,
all
it's-
taken care
Could have been
of,
done,
but,
taken care of 6 months ago.
yeah.
But,
Unless you have a new
I don't know, I mean, how many times do we not get called, that we not do an enforcement order, and it's happening because they never, they could just ignore it, like I said, but at least if we had something, we said, sent to them. But anyway, I'll see if we can do it, maybe we can automate it somehow.
Yeah, I think it's almost like the curbing would have solved the problem.
I know.
Of the runoff. It's
Yeah.
getting runoff. So,
For
Well, they
runoff,
should've-
not for the
They
trees.
should have sloped the driveway away from the house anyways, though. You know, it's
well,
odd
usually there's a
that,
little, they
Correct.
could put a berm up
yeah,
at the end of it, just to make a hump, just so
yeah,
that the water.
so the water can back run down the street more and
Yeah.
skip over the next guy's driveway.
Yeah,
Landscape
exactly.
could do that.
Yeah,
What's that?
Sure.
Way to do it.
No, I
Yeah.
can do it, it's fine.
Now you're in the public way though.
I just throw
Yeah,
in the
it's
agenda.
another
and-
Technically,
Another
you're in the
problem.
public way, you're not in your driveway anymore if you're at the end of the
Yeah,
driveway of the
yeah.
street.
then there's a risk and puddles in the road and hydroplaning and everything else, so.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we have tonight, right?
That's
So
it.
I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion?
Gene makes a motion to close the public hearing, seconded by Dan, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.